you ever walk into a room and your resume gets there before you do? The title is right. The money is right. The seat has your name on it. But your body is still like, nah, something in here ain't clean or isn't clean. And now you have two meetings happening at the same time. You have the one on the agenda and you have the one inside your chest or your mind, however you want to phrase it. So you start doing what high performers do best. You override it. You tell yourself, hey, don't be dramatic. Don't overread into it. Don't make this about race. Don't make this about class. Don't make this about being the outsider again. Just be excellent. Just be polished. Just get through the room. Now, when you fast forward to 45 days later, the move happens. Not loud, not theatrical, clean. A paperwork shows up. A decision gets revealed, and an alignment you could improve in the meeting, suddenly it has signatures on it. And now you are sitting there with one hard realization. The thing you kept trying to calm down was the only thing in the room that caught it early. That wasn't insecurity. That was detection, my friend. And if you've been calling that detection an imposter syndrome, then we need to talk. What's good with you? How you feeling today? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the I Don't Subscribe with yours truly, Ibrahim. And today I want to talk to the executive who is objectively overqualified and still walks into certain rooms feeling like security might just tap them on their shoulder. Not because you don't belong there, because some part of your body still doesn't trust the room. But before we go too far into this, I want to take a moment to just salute House of Lonewolf for presenting this episode. After you finish watching this video, go to houseoflonewolf.com. You heard? Now let's get into it. I want to say something plain here, because a lot of people with imposter syndrome label were never imposters in the first place. They were the only ones in the room who could feel the temperature changing before the thermostat moved. You know this executive. Maybe it's you. The one with the numbers, the one with the outcomes, the one everybody calls when situation gets messy. But put that same person in the wrong room, the wrong investor dinner, the wrong offsite, the wrong leadership circle, and something in their body will tighten up. Not because they forgot how to lead, because the room is saying one thing with its mouth and another thing with its posture. You have two people asking questions like they just want clarity. You have three more watching to see which way the room lands before they even decide who they are today. You have one person, quiet. They're already with you, but they are waiting to see whether you will stabilize the room or if you will get pulled under by the room. That is not fantasy. That is how rooms work, especially expensive rooms. And now what offends me about the whole imposter syndrome conversation It's how fast people make you the problem. It's as if your body is malfunctioning, as if the answer is more affirmations, more confidence, more positive self talk, more smiling while your instincts are throwing elbows like ludicrous, trying to get your attention. No, sometimes your body is not spiraling. Sometimes your body is just filing a report. Now, let me slow this down a little bit because your body keeps a score. Your body has a resume too. You heard? But it's not the one on LinkedIn. It's the one underneath it. The environments that trained you, the rooms that tested you, the moments when reading wrong, it costs more than the embarrassment. That kind of learning does not leave you because you got promoted. It comes with you. In my case, that sensor was not built in one place. It was shaped in Freetown, for sure. It was sharpened across the crooks, across the crannies of New York City and beyond. It was carried through correctional systemic pressure. It was carried through ministry and every room that were never neutral. So, no, I am not surprised when a polished room looks fine on paper and my body still catches static. And if your life trained you to notice what people miss, you should not be surprised either. Some of you learned this before you had words for it. You learned it in a house where the mood changed before your language did. You learned it in neighborhoods where one wrong read could turn a regular day into a very long night. You learned it as the first one, the only one, the one who had to decode the room fast just to avoid getting played, just to avoid getting dismissed or used or even get caught sleeping. So when you walk into a corporate space now and your body picks up that smiles or polish, but the alignment is off, it's like what my man Benny Siegel said years ago, also known as the Broad Street Bully. Your handshake in matching your smile. See, that's the whole diagnosis right there in one bar. Yes, the boardroom just has better furniture. But my friend, I want you to understand that that is not low self-esteem. That is pattern recognition. And once you understand that, the shame will start to lose its grip. So here's the trap. Once you accept the wrong label, you start taking the wrong medicine. Now you are trying to coach yourself out of an accurate read. Now you are journaling your way out of instincts that were trying to protect you. Now you are standing in front of the mirror telling yourself, I belong here. I belong here. I belong here. When the deeper question is, what exactly is this room telling me? That is the question. Not, how do I stop feeling this? But what is this feeling picking up? Because once you ask that question, everything changes. Now you are not a defective executive trying to be more confident. Now you are a calibrated executive learning how to interpret a signal. I want to just say this and I want you to keep this in your memory bank or lodge it in your chest after this episode. Because you are not failing in confidence. You were succeeding at detection. Read that again in your own life. How many times did the room prove you right later? How many times did the paperwork confirm what did your body know in minute 7? How many times did the betrayal arrive on schedule after your instincts already sent the memo? That's not a syndrome, my friend. That is an instrument. Now, understanding that is one thing. Using it in real time without looking rattled, without getting reckless, without talking yourself out of the room, that is the real work. So let me give you the simple version of how I think about this. Not the seminar version, not the room version. Because when that signal hits, it might be best to do 4 things. The first thing you must consider is notice. Just notice. Don't argue. Don't perform. Don't rush to prove to yourself that you are calm. Again, just notice. What changed? Who shifted? Who's driving? Who's watching? What feels polished but not solid? Second, you want to name it. Not out loud yet. Name it to yourself. What exactly am I picking up? Is this hostility? Is this misalignment? Is this politics? Is this a decision that was made before the meeting even started? Because once you can name a thing, it stops flooding you. Now, you are not drowning in a feeling. Now, you are holding information. You heard? The third thing you will do, you will choose your move. This is where most people mess it up because they will either get defensive or they will freeze. Both will cost them the room. Sometimes the move is direct. Sometimes the move is a visible pause. Sometimes the move is one clean question that makes the hidden agenda shows itself. Sometimes the move is transparency. Here's what I know. Here's what I don't know yet. Here's when I will have it. But the move has to match the room, not your ego. You heard? The fourth thing you will do, you will leave with the lesson. After the room, give yourself 60 seconds. That's how crucial it is. What did I catch correctly? What did I miss? What is in this environment do I need to remember the next time? That is how a signal becomes a strategy. That is how instinct becomes execution. That is how a person stops calling themselves broken and start becoming dangerous in the right way. And once you can do that, the whole conversation changes. Now, we are no longer talking about how to feel better in the room. Now we are talking about how to move better in it. You heard? So if this conversation is landing for you, and if you are realizing that's what you've been calling self-doubt might actually be intelligence you were never taught how to use, then I want you to understand what the next move is. The Feral Advantage Bundle. See, what I just gave you is the principle. The complete system is the 5 frameworks, the audit, the 30-day implementation architecture. That is what the Feral Advantage bundle is. An 86 pages, 3 documents for $497. And you can get that at houseoflonewolf.com. And remember, when the MBA framework fails, survival intelligence will win. So I want to leave you with this. Maybe the issue was never that you felt like an imposter. Maybe the issue was that you were taught to distrust the part of you that noticed too much. And if that is true, then your work now is not to become a different person. It is to become more precise with the one who already walked into the room. You don't need to bully yourself into confidence. You need to learn how to read. You need to learn how to position. You need to learn how to respond. You need to stop apologizing for having a nervous system that catches what other people miss. You had the signal. You just needed a way to run it. You heard? But until next time, I am Ibrahim Dafe, and I don't subscribe because I don't call a warning system a weakness. You heard?